Let's learn how to use Webots 2022B version. Hey everyone, my name is Kajal and welcome to my channel. This channel focuses on studying and working in the field of robotics. In today's tutorial, I will show how to download and install Webots on Mac, and then we will also go through a simulation so you can get familiarized with the different features in Webots. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now to download Webots, you simply need to go to Cyberbotics website. I'll include the link in the description. It'll automatically detect what operating system you're using. Now, one thing I definitely recommend is making sure you meet the system requirements for installing this app. I'll also include this link in the description. For Mac, you need either Big Sur or Monterey. And if you're wondering how to figure out your operating system, on the top, click on the Apple symbol and click on About this Mac. Under the overview section, you'll be able to see the operating system you're currently using. Alright, since I meet the requirements, let's go ahead and download. If you're using Safari, you can see your progress here and it'll almost always go to the downloads folder. Similar to most apps on Mac, you simply double click on it to install. Now I'm double clicking on this DMG file to be able to install and I'm getting this error message. Go into System Preferences, Security and Privacy. And it'll show you that it has blocked this particular app. Now do this at your own risk, but here we go. Similar to most apps on Mac, it's a simple drag and drop into the applications folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and open Webots. I'm simply using Spotlight to find and open Webots. Now, because I had this software before as well, it simply reloaded the world that I was working on before uninstalling the. In your case, it might ask you for some system preferences and creating certain folders to store your Webots simulations. Now, let's get familiarized with few things. In Webots, you have a world, which is basically where all your simulation objects, including your arena, your robots, and obstacles are placed. In here, you have what's called a scene tree. This will basically list out all the objects that you have in your world. So this is your rectangular arena, obstacle 1, obstacle 2, epoch, which is the robot here. Now each of these items are called nodes in Webots. Next, let's look at this bar. First one up here is basically to show and hide your scene tree. This allows you to add new nodes. As I mentioned before, each of these objects in your world is basically a node. Within an object, you can have multiple nodes as well. This is useful in creating an object from multiple nodes. For example, a robot. You can add a node which represents a sensor such as camera. You can add wheels, you can add motors, so on and so forth. Next, you have protonodes. I believe this means prototype nodes. These are available based on the version of Webots you have, but it allows you to add basic objects such as ball. You can also simply search for particular things such as an epoch robot. All you have to do is simply click add and it gets added. Now we already have one robot here, but I have just gone ahead and added a second robot. Now you can change some of the features based on what's available. To do this, you simply go to the scene tree, click on the object and click on this tiny arrow and you can see all the options that can be modified. For example, the name, translation. Let's say I do y equals to 1 meter. Now it disappeared, but what has happened is it's gone out of the view frame. You can also do this by simply clicking on the arrow. And the same goes for rotation. Working with axes can sometimes be tricky in terms of remembering X, Y, and Z. So let me show you something cool. If you go on the menu bar at top and click on view, under view, there's an option called optional rendering and an option called show coordinate system. With this, now you know what X, Y, and Z represents. So for example, we can go back and let's say we want to raise the robot. We know that is the Z axis. So let's change that to 0.5 meters, for example. And you can see the robot has gone up. All right, bringing it back. There are other options that you can modify as well, such as camera field of view. All right, coming back to the bar, next we have is view options. This one is for restoring the original view, and this one is for looking at it from different views. So let's try top view. Similarly, you have west view, which in this case is nothing because we're looking at it from the side of the rectangular arena. So all we see is the wall. And let's go back to the original view. This one allows you to open different worlds. This one allows you to save your current world. And this one allows you to reload your world. This is helpful when you run into error situations. This here represents the simulation time. The next four are for helping you with simulation. This is self-explanatory: play for playing the simulation and pause for pausing it. The one before it is to do one step at a time, which could be helpful during debugging. This one resets the simulation back to the start. Now, another thing I want you to note is the debug console here. This is where your print statements will show up along with any other information. Next are for capturing photo and video in simulation and sharing your simulation. This one's for volume. And with that, we have run our first simulation. Now, Webots does come with example worlds that you can use to run your simulation as well as understand different functionalities. For that, all you need to do is go to File and open Sample World. Now, the world I have loaded right now is also one of the sample Webots project available. It's under Robot, GCtronics, Epoch, and Line. You can also always simply search for them in here. This is also great if you want to look for particular sensors and understand how they operate in Webots. Another important component I want to talk about is the code, which in Webots is called controllers. The code is part of the robot. So we'll go back to the scene tree and click on our robot and look for an option called controller. If you click on it and click edit, it will pull the code for you. This here is the Webots inbuilt editor. Most of the sample world codes are available to view. This again helps you understand how different sensors and motor commands work in Webots. So for example, here for epoch, we can see that motor set velocity is the function you use to give a command to the motor. You have to give it a reference to the motor and the speed. Now, if the code is in C or C++, you have to build it before you're able to run it. And all of those functionalities are once again available here. In the next upcoming tutorials, we will go over how to create your own robot and write your own Webots controller code. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.